Imagine a city where only the chosen few could enter, yet its secrets shaped an empire that ruled for centuries. Welcome to the Forbidden City in Beijing. Once reserved for royalty, this vast complex now reveals tales of dynastic power and artistry. We'll explore its rise under the Ming and Qing, see how it gained UNESCO recognition, and find out why it remains a vital part of China's cultural story. From lavish halls to hidden details, join us on a closer look at a place that once held the nation's highest seat of authority. The Forbidden City was the heart of an empire, a world within walls where emperors ruled in absolute isolation. For over 500 years, it stood as the center of Imperial China, dictating not just politics, but the very structure of Beijing itself. It was the symbolic heart of the empire, and the location dictated the layout of Beijing, with major roads, government offices, and temples positioned in direct relation to it. Every part of its design followed a strict hierarchical structure. The grand halls at the center were dedicated to official affairs, where emperors held court and issued decrees that shaped the fate of millions. But deeper within the palace, hidden from public view, were the private quarters, the secluded world of the emperor, his concubines, and the elite few who served them. Even the name carried a deeper meaning. In Chinese, it was called Zijincheng, the Purple Forbidden City. The word purple referenced the North Star, the fixed point in the sky associated with the celestial emperor, reinforcing the idea that this palace was the earthly equivalent of the heavens. The name Forbidden wasn't just symbolic. Entry was strictly controlled. Commoners, and even high-ranking officials, could only pass through its gates with explicit permission. It wasn't simply a residence, it was a carefully designed fortress of power, one that projected the emperor's supremacy through its very architecture. Everything revolved around this massive complex, reinforcing the emperor's divine authority. The emperor, believed to rule under the mandate of heaven, was seen as a bridge between the celestial and human worlds, and the palace itself was designed to reflect this cosmic balance. Today, the Forbidden City no longer serves as an imperial residence. Instead, it has transformed into the Palace Museum, a vast cultural institution that preserves the grandeur of China's imperial past. But even as a museum, its presence is undeniable. Walking through its gates is like stepping into history, into a world where power was absolute, architecture was a tool of control, and every corridor whispered stories of emperors, intrigue, and legacy. The Forbidden City, located in the heart of Beijing, China, is one of the most iconic historical and cultural landmarks in the world. Getting there is convenient thanks to Beijing's efficient transport network. The city is served by two major airports: Beijing Capital International Airport, 27 kilometers away, where the airport express train connects to Dongzhimen Station, and Beijing Daxing International Airport, 46 kilometers south, offering a high-speed express train that makes the trip equally efficient. The subway is the fastest way to reach the site, with Line 1 stopping at Tiananmen East, the most convenient entrance. Line 2 also provides access via Qianmen Station. Several bus routes, including 1, 2, 52, and 82, stop nearby, though traffic can slow them down during peak hours. Surrounding the Forbidden City are some of Beijing's most significant landmarks. To the south lies Tiananmen Square, a historic public space that has witnessed pivotal moments in China's history. Beyond it, the Great Hall of the People hosts national legislative meetings, while the mausoleum of Mao Zedong houses the remains of the country's most influential modern leader. To the west, Zhongshan Park and Beihai Park offer peaceful escapes from the city's bustle, while Jingshan Park, directly north, provides an unparalleled panoramic view of the Forbidden City's golden rooftops. With a little preparation, getting to the Forbidden City is simple. whether arriving from another part of Beijing or landing from overseas. It remains not just a historic site, but an active part of the city's daily rhythm, blending centuries of tradition with the pulse of modern China. The Forbidden City was meticulously crafted to symbolize absolute power, cosmic balance, and imperial supremacy. Over 1 million workers toiled for 14 years to bring his vision to life, carving out a self-contained empire within Beijing. Every stone, every beam, every inch of its design was deliberate. The layout followed strict Confucian principles, reinforcing hierarchy and order, while its scale alone projected authority. The materials and colors of the Forbidden City were more than aesthetic choices. They were deliberate symbols of imperial power and cosmic order. Golden roof tiles, reserved exclusively for imperial structures, shimmered under the sun as a reminder of the emperor's celestial mandate. The dominant red, covering walls, gates, and towering columns, symbolized life, fortune, and authority. Even the subtle strokes of blue, green, and white were chosen to align with ancient cosmological beliefs, ensuring harmony in every detail. Massive stone slabs, too heavy for conventional transport, were ingeniously moved across frozen pathways in winter, using ice to reduce friction. Every element of its construction reflected precision, ingenuity, and an obsession with longevity. Despite being made primarily of wood, the Forbidden City has withstood centuries of earthquakes, fires, and wars, thanks to ancient engineering techniques that were far ahead of their time. The Dugong bracket system, an interlocking wooden framework, allowed buildings to flex rather than collapse under seismic pressure. Its stone foundations ensured stability, while a sophisticated drainage system, hidden beneath dragon-head spouts, prevented flooding. Even as dynasties fell and rulers changed, the palace remained, each emperor overseeing restorations that preserved its grandeur. Yet beyond its rigid order, the Forbidden City was designed to overwhelm. Spanning 180 acres, it is the largest palace complex in the world, with sprawling courtyards and towering gates. Although it has an estimated 8,700 rooms, legends speak of 9,999.5 rooms, a number linked to Chinese numerology, where 9 represents eternity. Bronze lions guard the entrances. Golden dragons coil along the roofs, and every hall, every corridor, serves as a silent testament to the authority it once held. But for all its grandeur, the Forbidden City was not just a display of power. It was a carefully calibrated space of harmony. It was designed not just to impress, but to reinforce the idea that the emperor governed in alignment with the heavens. Even today, its presence commands respect, standing as one of the most remarkable achievements of Chinese architecture. This fortress of authority housed 24 rulers from the Ming and Qing dynasties, each leaving their mark on its vast halls. Built under Emperor Yongl's command in 1406, it was more than an architectural masterpiece. It was a statement of absolute power. But power is never static. In 1644, the Ming dynasty fell, and the Manchu-led Qing took control. Rather than replacing the Forbidden City, they embraced it, expanding its influence with Tibetan, Mongolian, and Manchu artistic touches. The palace remained the core of China's rule until 1912, when the last emperor, Puyi, abdicated. And yet, even as its political function faded, the Forbidden City remained a symbol of authority, of history, of a China that had shaped and been shaped by those who ruled within its walls. Inside, life followed a strict hierarchy. The emperor, the son of heaven, was the ultimate authority. His daily routine, a carefully choreographed display of power. At dawn, he held court, receiving ministers who presented reports and sought imperial decrees. Midday was spent in religious rituals, reading state documents, or preparing for grand ceremonies. Evenings, secluded in his private quarters, he studied calligraphy, met with scholars, or summoned concubines. Every action reinforced his supremacy, his presence dictating the rhythm of the empire. But the emperor did not rule alone. The palace was run by thousands of eunuchs, who served in positions of immense trust. They were the gatekeepers of imperial life, managing everything from daily schedules to internal security. Some wielded more power than ministers, manipulating court politics from behind the scenes. Among them, figures like Wei Zhongxian became so influential they practically ruled in the emperor's name. Then there were the women, the empress, the consorts, and the concubines who lived within the inner court. Their lives were dictated by tradition, hierarchy, and an unspoken yet fierce competition for favor. A single night with the emperor could elevate a concubine's status, securing her son's place in the line of succession. But the harem was a place of silent wars, where alliances formed in whispers and power was seized in shadows. Some concubines became footnotes in history, while others, like Empress Dowager Cixi, reshaped the empire itself. Despite its rigid structure, the Forbidden City was not just a place of duty. It was also a stage for grand spectacle. Festivals transformed its halls into vibrant arenas of celebration. The Chinese New Year brought firecrackers and extravagant performances, as the emperor honored his ancestors with solemn ceremonies. Banquets, too, were more than feasts. They were diplomatic statements. Performances filled the halls, from Beijing opera to acrobatics, each display a carefully curated symbol of cultural sophistication. The emperor wasn't just a ruler. He was the embodiment of China itself, and every event within these walls reinforced that idea. Walking through the Meridian Gate, visitors step into a world where emperors ruled, concubines schemed, and officials navigated the rigid hierarchy of the imperial court. This grand entrance, with its towering red walls and golden rooftops, was once reserved for the emperor and select officials. Just beyond, the vast outer court opens up, leading to the Gate of Supreme Harmony, where ceremonial processions began. This is the first glimpse of the Hall of Supreme Harmony, the most important structure in the Forbidden City. Sitting atop a three-tiered marble terrace, this hall housed the Dragon Throne, the very seat of imperial power, surrounded by sculptures of dragons and intricate carvings of shishu that symbolize protection and authority. Following the central axis, the next halls, the Hall of Central Harmony, where the emperor prepared before major ceremonies, and the Hall of Preserved Harmony, served as transitional spaces. Beyond the outer court, the Forbidden City transforms into a more intimate world. The Palace of Heavenly Purity, the emperor's primary residence, sits alongside the Palace of Earthly Tranquility, which housed the empress. These spaces were the heart of daily court life, where decisions affecting the empire were made behind silk-draped corridors. The Hall of Celestial and Terrestrial Union, nestled between the emperor's and empress's quarters, represents the balance of yin and yang, reinforcing the cosmic harmony that guided imperial rule. The 6 eastern and 6 western palaces, once home to concubines and royal family members, now serve as exhibition halls, displaying relics from China's imperial past. The Palace of Compassion and Tranquility and the Palace of Celestial Favor provide further insight into the lives of the women of the court, with exhibits detailing their traditions, rivalries, and ceremonies. The Imperial Garden, a rare departure from the rigid symmetry of the palace, is a masterpiece of landscaping. Pavilions, ancient cypress trees, and rock formations create a tranquil retreat within the palace walls. The towers of reverence stand here, symbolizing wisdom and enlightenment, while pathways lined with 7 pairs of stone lions add to the garden's mystique. Further exploration leads to the Palace of Tranquil Longevity, home to the Treasure Gallery, where visitors can admire jade carvings, golden Buddha statues, and the extravagant jewelry worn by empresses. Nearby, the Hall for Ancestry Worship, later repurposed into the Clock and Watch Gallery, houses an impressive collection of timepieces gifted by European monarchs in order to try to gain favor with the Chinese emperors and get access to trade, blending Chinese craftsmanship with Western mechanics. Art and literature played a significant role in the Forbidden City. The Hall of Literary Glory once housed imperial scholars and is now home to the Painting Gallery, where masterpieces from the Ming and Qing dynasties are displayed. Across the complex, the Hall of Martial Valor, historically associated with military affairs, now serves as the Pottery Gallery, featuring some of China's finest porcelain and ceramics. Meanwhile, the Hall of Mental Cultivation, where emperors of the later Qing dynasty actually lived and governed, remains preserved with its original furnishings, offering an authentic glimpse into imperial daily life. For those seeking tranquility, Beihai Park and the Haohai Lake scenic area offer peaceful walks among pagodas, bridges, and lotus-filled ponds. These areas, once part of the imperial grounds, now serve as cultural and social hubs where visitors can experience tea houses, traditional courtyard homes, and lively night markets. The southeast corner watchtower, a well-preserved remnant of Beijing's old city walls, provides a rare look into the city's former fortifications. Beyond its historic significance, the Forbidden City remains a cultural treasure, hosting seasonal exhibitions and events that bring its past to life. For centuries, the Forbidden City stood as the heart of imperial China, an unparalleled architectural achievement that symbolized power, tradition, and cosmic balance. In 1987, UNESCO recognized this monumental site as a World Heritage Site, acknowledging its extraordinary value not just to China, but to the world. This designation ensures its preservation, enforces strict conservation guidelines, and highlights its influence on global history, urban planning, and architectural design. The Forbidden City exemplifies a harmonious blend of Confucian order, Taoist balance, and artistic grandeur, making it an irreplaceable cultural treasure. The Forbidden City met multiple UNESCO criteria for its inscription as a World Heritage Site. It fulfills criterion, number 1, as a masterpiece of human creative genius, showcasing innovative construction techniques and unparalleled craftsmanship. Under criterion, number 2, its architectural style and urban planning influenced palace complexes across East Asia, shaping the designs of structures in Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. Criterion, number 3, recognizes it as an exceptional testimony to China's political and cultural traditions, embodying the philosophy, governance, and artistry of a civilization that spanned nearly 500 years. Finally, criterion, number 4, highlights the Forbidden City as an outstanding example of traditional Chinese architecture, with its symmetrical layout, hierarchical organization, and meticulous alignment with cosmological principles. These factors collectively solidify its status as one of the most significant cultural heritage sites in the world. The Forbidden City has endured centuries of political upheavals, wars, and environmental challenges, yet its grandeur remains intact. From the Ming to the Qing dynasty, successive emperors ensured its preservation, with major renovations under Kangxi and Qianlong reinforcing its structures. Even during the Opium Wars and the Boxer Rebellion, the palace survived largely unscathed, protected by its immense cultural significance. In the modern era, the site has undergone systematic restoration efforts, most notably through the Project Forbidden City 2020, aimed at restoring nearly 76% of the complex using a combination of traditional Chinese craftsmanship and scientific conservation methods. International collaborations with institutions like the Getty Conservation Institute and UNESCO have further supported its maintenance, ensuring the integrity of its historic architecture. Conservation efforts now focus on balancing accessibility with protection. Strict visitor limits, Online reservations and restricted areas help prevent overcrowding and physical wear. Delicate surfaces are shielded with protective barriers, while climate-controlled rooms preserve fragile artifacts. Meanwhile, cutting-edge technology plays a crucial role in monitoring the palace's condition. 3D mapping, seismic sensors, and AI-driven analytics track structural health in real time, allowing for rapid intervention when necessary. Digital archiving also ensures that every intricate detail is documented for future restorations. Despite the challenges of time, tourism, and environmental risks, the Forbidden City remains a testament to China's dedication to cultural preservation. By integrating centuries-old restoration techniques with state-of-the-art conservation methods, it stands as a bridge between past and future, ensuring its architectural and historical legacy endures for generations to come. From its imperial grandeur to its hidden stories and ongoing preservation, we've explored what makes this historic palace one of the most fascinating places in the world. Join the conversation. What part of the Forbidden City intrigues you the most? Have you visited, or is it on your must-see list? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button. It helps the channel grow and keeps these stories alive. Want to explore more UNESCO World Heritage sites? Check out our playlist for more incredible destinations that reveal the history and culture of our world. Subscribe for more adventures. There's so much more to uncover, and we'll see you in the next video.